Excel runs its macros extremely quickly, especially on contemporary computers that have multiple processors and gigabytes of memory. When an Excel VBA routine changes from one worksheet to another at high speed, you get screen flash. It's not a big deal while you're testing your code. In fact, it lets you know your macro is working, but it does degrade the user experience. Let me show you what happens when I have a macro that has, in this case, a bunch of unnecessary switches from worksheet to worksheet, but I wanted to show you what screen flicker looks like. If I type in my name and my email, and again, more cinnamon, and click Add Suggestion, which runs the macro that copies this data back to sheet 3, you see that you got screen flicker. Now, the macro worked correctly, but again, the user experience isn't all it could be. There is a way to prevent the screen from flashing while Excel runs your code and switches from worksheet to worksheet. I'll press Alt F11 and show you how to do that. The command that you use is application.screenUpdating equals false. So I'll type that in, application.screenUpdating equals false. Setting application.screenUpdating to false means that Excel will not update your screen until either the subroutine ends, in which case it does, or it encounters application.screenUpdating equals true. So I will put that other command here. Instead of typing it, I will just remove the comment marker. Now when I run the code, and I'll just go back into here, back on sheet 1, and click Add Suggestion. Again, it's the same data, but it doesn't matter. You see that I don't get any screen flicker. Application.screenUpdating equals false does not limit message boxes or dialog boxes from appearing. So let's go back into the code, and I have here a message box, which indicates that my subroutine was able to find the first empty cell in column A. Perhaps I have it there for bug checking or something. So if I put that back as a regular line instead of a comment, Alt F11, and go back to sheet 1, and using the same data, click Add Suggestion, finds the first empty cell, and it continues without the screen flickering. Screen flash is one of the most distracting things that can happen when you run a macro. If it happens, your users might think there's something wrong with their monitor or their computer. Turning off screen updates until your code is finished running will make everyone's user experience much more pleasant.